I mean, he's a bloated 50% body fat mess, right? I mean, no offense to the kid, but he looks terrible.
He is in fact very large, but I don't believe this to be healthy. Do you really think that this is just creatine when you look like this at 17 years of age? And why do you think he would take these supplements? Why do you think? I'm incredibly excited to announce that I'm officially a young LA athlete. Coach Greg in today's video, the biggest 17-year-old in the world. And by that I mean the biggest fake natty. The guy goes by the name of Gentile_lifts. It says Gentile, biggest 17-year-old. And what makes this story crazy is this guy actually claims being 100% natural. And how did he put on all this muscle? Creatine. And I'm not making this shit up. He actually wants you to believe that he made this 3-year transformation from just taking creatine.
Here's another kid claiming that he took creatine for 3 years and put on 100 pounds of muscle. Now I'm talking about this because I can't fucking stand when people do this, especially teens.
In the comment section I wrote, this guy, he's clearly lying. You can tell the guy clearly is on Turk Builder, but listen, I'm making a joke. Turk Builder is not for teenagers. And this kid, I don't care how many natural supplements he was on, he ain't putting on 100 pounds and looking like that at 17 from training Natty. In the comment section, do you want the kid to promote that he took steroids or say it's creatine? You don't like when they're honest and admit they're taking juice. Here's the thing, he could have just said nothing. When you literally have a transformation and you say 3-year transformation, 14 to 17, only creatine. What do you think that's going to make people think? They're going to think, hey, I can do it with just creatine. And then when they take creatine and don't make those changes, they're going to think, I have a shitty physique. I have shitty genetics. I didn't make those gains. And so what do you think they're then going to be tempted to do? They're going to be tempted to use steroids. Of course they are. And so would it not be better to just say nothing at all? What did Sam Sulek do? I don't see Sam Sulek glorifying steroids, and I also don't see him lying. The parents have chimed in. That's right, this is from the parents. Hi there, my son has taken creatine, but absolutely no steroids. Yes, he still lives with his parents. He's 17. It's all food and lifting lifestyle. Puberty probably played a part as he is still growing. No steroids. Don't worry, all you so-called experts got it all wrong. Maybe you need a new career instead of posting false statements. Singing may be good for you. You have a nice voice. He's responding to me, and I'm making a comment under Bodybuilding and BS's channel. And so Nick Trilogy is calling out this kid who said 14 to 17. Natural transformation. And I weigh in the comment section and say, look, he shouldn't be saying it's just creatine. He could just say nothing. There's no way this physique is 100% natural. And so the father, of course he's going to do this. He comes in to his son's defense. But notice how he said he's not on steroids. We all know, 2024, there's more than just steroids that can build an impressive physique. There's things called peptides, MK677, SARMs, growth hormone. There's other things besides just steroids that can build an impressive physique. And so just because somebody's not on steroids doesn't mean they're 100% natural. Here's the thing, and this is where it gets serious. Parents, you do not know what your kids are actually taking. When you're 17 years old, you're not going to go up to your parents, well, most kids are not, and say, you know what, Dad? I was sniffing this, I was drinking that, I was smoking this, and I was injecting that and swallowing this. Most kids are going to lie. And why? Why do you think? Do you remember when you were 17? Did you ever lie to your parents? Yes, I swear. I'll be home at 10. I won't drink anything. You're going away for the weekend? Oh, I won't have any of my friends over. And what happens? Parents are not dumb. They know their kids are often going to be lying. But if you believe every single thing that your kids tell you, you may be missing out on some important information. So if you're a parent watching this right now, ask yourself this. Are you 100% certain that your child would never lie to you ever? Would never, ever tell a fib? Never neglect to say, you know, my friend at the gym, he gave me some Osterine, some Rad 140, some LGD. Is it possible he's taking something? MK677. Do you really think you're going to know everything that they're taking? And remember, we're just talking about performance-enhancing drugs. What about other drugs? Do you trust that your child would never, ever give in to the temptation of anything their peers are pressuring them to take? I'm telling you, there's a greater possibility that they are than that they aren't. And so just because somebody lives at your house doesn't guarantee that they're not taking anything. Ladies, guys, just because your partner says, I'm 100% natural, I don't do those steroids. Just because your girlfriend or boyfriend says, no, I would never cheat on you, doesn't mean they're never going to. People often lie. I hate to break it to you, but most people are not 100% honest. Most people don't have the balls to tell you the truth. I tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. You want to hear, my son would never lie. He's 100% natural. You can put on 100 pounds just by taking creatine. This kid at 14, he has a very impressive physique. It is amazing. He's already got a ton of muscle. Is he in fact natural at this point? I certainly hope so. He's only 14. But is it possible that he's already taking something? Absolutely. I've seen kids far younger than 14 who've began taking SARMs and so on. I've literally had phone consults with parents who are asking me which SARMs to give their 14-year-olds. And this includes both men and women, little kids in grade 9. And so if you don't think that 14-year-olds are taking steroids, SARMs, and so on, then I hate to break it to you, many are. So in the after photo, this kid's gained 100 pounds. But remember, not all of it is muscle. A lot of this is excess body fat. And this, it's not healthy. Now, yes, granted, the kid's huge. He's very impressive. Nick, I believe, have been a bit hard on him, saying he has 50% body fat. It's probably 40, but still, it's not healthy.
It's really not that impressive, actually. Like, you're probably thinking the kid's going to look crazy, but, I mean, he's a bloated 50% body fat mess, right? I mean, no offense to the kid, but he looks terrible.
And so Nick, he went a little hard on him. He said 50% body fat. It's probably only 35, but it's certainly not a healthy body fat percentage. He is in fact very large, but I don't believe this to be healthy. Do you really think that this is just creatine when you look like this at 17 years of age? And why do you think he would take these supplements? Why do you think? I'm incredibly excited to announce that I'm officially a young LA athlete. You really think this guy's going to tell his parents at 14, you know, I really want to get a sponsorship from Young LA. I think I'm going to start taking Rad 140, some MK677. You know, none of those needles. I'll just take some oral stuff. No one's going to know. I seen some ads. I seen Togi. He's saying he's taking this, taking that. Other guys, they're teenagers. They're taking stuff. And so I want to be like that. Eventually, I want to be the size of Sam Sulek or perhaps even bigger. And so what does Young LA do? Well, they see all the followers after all. Why aren't you following this guy? I mean, think of it. He perhaps had 50,000 followers at 16. Look at the size of him. And he's 100% natural. It's from taking creatine. And so Young LA knows that if they sponsor this kid who right now has about 90,000 followers, more people are going to buy their clothes. And so they eat it up. And so what do you think then happens? Other 17, 16, 15, 14-year-olds are also going to want to do the same thing. Wow, he's sponsored. Look at the size of this guy. I want to do the same thing. It's a vicious cycle, and the ages keep getting younger and younger and younger. Used to be sponsored athletes, they were adults. Then every year it seemed to get a little bit younger. Now the youngest sponsored athlete, he's 18, 17, keeps getting younger. Eventually, they're going to be sponsoring 200-pound guys at age 14, bench pressing 3 plates on each side. And so can you imagine a scenario where a 14, 15, 16-year-old is going to tell his parents, I'm going to take some SARMs. I'm going to take some steroids. Can you imagine that parent allowing it to happen? Of course not. Well, perhaps it's possible somewhere in the world, but for the most part, parents, they're going to say no. And so what is in the end result? They do it in secret. And so, of course, the dad is going to write a comment and say, my son is natural. He's going to defend his son. That's his son, and I can respect that. But remember, are you certain? And so, dads, get your kids tested. Get some blood work. Find out. And if you get that blood work, feel free to send it to me. Send it to Coach Greg. I will go over it and I'll give you my honest opinion. If I believe they're 100% natural on video, say, wow, look at this kid. This is the 1 in a billion situation where the guy did it 100% natural. He's a freak. It makes no sense, but in this case, it's clear. It's amazing. And this kid will get promoted more than ever before. Don't you want that chance, that opportunity to have that video? And so let's see the blood work. Oh, but no, I shouldn't show my blood work. This is my son. This is a kid. If the kid's 100% natural, and it is in fact Natty blood work, I'm going to show it. Would that not be good for the brand, for the company, for the reputation? And so why would anyone say no? And at the very least, the parent should get the kid's blood work for himself, just so he can know. I want to know for myself, son, I want you to get some blood work done. I want to make sure that you're 100% healthy. Want to make sure you're not taking anything, that your liver values are where they are, that your testosterone levels are in the normal range, that your cholesterol isn't out of whack, and so on. And so is that not a win-win situation? And so perhaps some of you are going to be writing in the comment section, why are you picking on this guy? He's only a teenager. This is exactly the person that you should be talking about. The younger the person, the more important the message. They are too young to make these decisions. The human brain has not finished developing until the age of 25. Anyone out there, if you're a teenager, you're not ready for steroids, you're not ready for SARMs, not ready for any of this. And I'm not blaming you. I understand the pressure. Imagine being a teenager in today's day and age. You're swiping left and right and up and down and you're seeing all these amazing physiques and you're saying, I want to be part of that. I want to get some respect. I want to get some attention. And so you do it the way you know best. But I'm telling you, there are dangerous side effects out there and you need to be careful. And so in the rare chance that this young man took just creatine to make these kind of gains, well, that's amazing. But for the most part, at least 99% chance, it's not true. What I would suggest, please get the blood work. Please do your own research. In my opinion, be more cautious, be more investigative than last time. And so it's Lat Man versus Fat Man. Remember, these are the words I'm reading out. I'm not calling him fat, although he's 230 pounds at 5'9" at 17. That is a lot of size. Who gets mogged here? Well, the 19-year-old, who I also believe is not natural, is clearly better shape, better conditioned, has more muscle, but he's not as big as the man who's 230. But listen, the guy's 19, and I don't believe the 19-year is natural either. And so, yeah, in my opinion, the 19-year-old is mogging the 17-year-old, but of course he is. He's 19. This shouldn't even be a comparison. Why are we comparing yourself to other people? 17-year-olds shouldn't feel they have to live up to the size, conditioning, and so on of a 19-year-old. 18-year-old mogs 17-year-old and slaps him. I certainly hope that's not what's going on here. Okay. Slaps him in the back to get him hyped up. It's not a problem. This is okay. 18 years old. This woman has an incredible physique, doing the most musculars in the bicep pose. I mean, what is going on at this gym? Is this 18-year-old natural? I hope so. I'm starting to think that all these young people are no longer natural. I mean, it's one person after the next with incredible physiques. Now, in the off chance that he is in fact natural, he should take this as a compliment. If you truly are natural, and all you take in is creatine, you haven't done any of the SARMs, the MK, and so on. Remember, the father's cleared out, you're not on steroids. But if you haven't taken any SARMs or banned performance-enhancing drugs, remember, for me to say that you're natural, you have to not be taking anything that is banned by WADA. If you haven't taken anything, then congrats to you. This is amazing. I personally don't think this is true. I believe that the chances are very, very strong that you're not natural. And so there you have it. My honest, unbiased opinion. 17-year-old runs the airplane. And so he's barely fitting on the plane. He's only 17 years old. Get him off the plane. A mask, really. And so when you film other people and put those captions, those quotes, it's like in a comic book when you say what the person was saying or thinking. I don't like that. I don't think it's fair. Assume that's somebody else's mom or dad, which it likely is. It's somebody's kid at least. And you're pretending that they're saying something. It's pretend. They may not be thinking this at all. And you're putting words into their mouth. Well, literally, you're putting words out of their mouth on a screen. And you're saying this is what they're saying. Maybe they're not saying that. And so why are you doing this? Are you possibly embarrassing them on purpose? What would Joey Swole think? I'm thinking of a certain line you need to do better. You're literally trying to make fun of people that you're filming to make yourself look cool. You don't need to do that. Listen, you have an amazing physique. You're 17 years of age. You don't need to do anything extra to get attention. You've already got 90,000 followers. You don't need to make fun of people on the plane just for likes and attention. 14-year-old, 20-pound transformation. 17 years old, 175-pound body weight. But yet we know he's 230. And so what are you going to believe right now? And so how do we know that this kid is actually natural? In one video, he says he made a 14 to 17-year-old transformation. He put on 20 pounds. But in the other video, he said he made a 100-pound transformation while using creatine. See, the thing is with these kids today, they say anything they want and have no repercussions. People are lying, they're pretending, they're making up fake news. They invent their own language, these Gen Z guys. And so what are we supposed to believe? 17-year-old Natty twins. 3 sets until failure. 16-year-old healthy 500-pound bench press. All right, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say 2 out of those 3 things are true. Pick your 2 out of 3. Is this kid 16 years old, healthy, with a 500-pound bench press? You can have 2. Which one's a lie? And so in the comment section, 16 years old, nope. Healthy, nope. On steroids, check mark. There's no way I believe that this kid is 16 years old, 17 years old, 20 years old. I don't believe whatever age it says there, and can also bench press 500 pounds. He says he weighs 230 in one video. He says he's 175 in the other. I'm personally going to go with the 230, and I don't think he can bench 500. And why is that? Well, 500 pounds for natural bodybuilders in the world is very, very rare for anyone close to 200 pounds in the world. I'm not talking about juniors. I'm talking about open senior men who bench press 500 pounds is a rarity. And so if you're going to tell me that a natty 16-year-old is going to do it, I'm going to tell you he's the world record holder. I'm going to tell you he's the strongest kid bench presser in the world. There's no natty 16 or 17-year-olds out there bench pressing 500 pounds. And so if you tell me that this kid's natural, bench pressing 500 pounds, going to call you a liar. And is he in fact healthy? Well, let's look at his BMI. The guy's 5'9" and 230 pounds. Since when is 5'9" and 230 healthy? I'll tell you since when. It's not. 16-year-olds who are that size, even if it's all muscle, I'm going to argue it's not very healthy. There's something known as healthy at every size, and I'm going to tell you it's not true. And so if you're force-feeding calories, you're bulking up, you're in a calorie surplus to the point of weighing 230 pounds at this age, you're likely taking years off of your life. 17-year-old tosses 200-pound 18-year-old into the sky. 17-year-old, 170-pound body weight. Dream physique wants to look like none other than Rich Piana, who's no longer with us. Let that sink in a little. 17-year-old running stuff. And I mean, he's using a play on words. Running stuff is usually meant to mean like he's taking some gear, but then he goes on for a run. And so is he in fact natural? Well, how should we know? But he certainly doesn't look natural. 17 years old, natural. I mean, you can decide for yourself if you think that that looks natural at 17 years of age. I mean, we obviously don't have his blood work. We don't have any proof that he's not. We only have the visuals. He said he put on 100 pounds while taking creatine from age 14 to 17. And we've seen his physique. We've also seen him in some videos say his body weight's 230, others 175. Some videos says he puts on 100 pounds. Sometimes he says he puts on 20. He's all over the place. He's trying to keep you guessing. 17-year-old tiny vegan, 21-inch arms, 6-foot natty, check mark. He makes jokes. We don't know if he's vegan or not. We don't know if he has 21-inch arms or not. We don't know if he's 6 feet tall or not. We don't really know anything. They just say whatever they want, whatever gets the most views, whatever gets the most clicks, whatever gets most likes. Vegan diet transformation, age 14 to 17. And so first it was a creatine transformation from 14 to 17. Next was a vegan transformation from 14 to 17. And so this is what I think is happening. They know that oftentimes transformations from a young age to an older age, when you put on a lot of size or get shredded and so on, that allows people to go viral. And so they try everything. Vegan transformation, creatine transformation, natty transformation. Whatever you put in the words, eventually something takes off, and then you get a large following from going viral, and then you're sponsored by Young LA. And so did it work? I think it worked. You can't get mad for other people to make videos calling the people out. 17-year-old made his gains off just honey. Best supplement to keep your natty, STOS. And so perhaps STOS stands for status. It's the Gen Z lingo. And so he attributes all his gains this time to honey. So was it being vegan? Was it the honey? Was it the creatine? Or was it the SARMs? I'm betting it was the SARMs. This is what I'm betting. 16-year-old doing 3 sets of 10 to get a stronger bench, failing 315-pound bench. 17-year-old doing 5 sets of 5 to get a stronger bench, 315 times 20. And so are you going to tell me that he couldn't bench press 315 pounds at 16 and at 17 he's doing 315 for 20? I mean, let's just let that sink in. 315 pounds, failing at 315, then bench pressing 315 for 20. Does that seem the type of typical progress you can expect in a year? Remember, he had his 14 to 17-year-old transformation. Do you really think that he trained from 14, 15, 16, and suddenly at 16, he went from bench pressing 315 pounds to 500? Or 315 pounds for 20 reps from doing sets of 5? Oh, I just did 5 sets of 5, took my creatine, maybe it was the honey, and I know I was vegan. I had 350 grams of protein. Now I'm bench pressing 315 for 20. Do you know how rare it is for someone to bench press 315 pounds for 20 reps? Remember me? I'm a world record holder in the bench press, and my best natural bench press in my life, and I certainly wasn't 16 or 17, was 315 for 23 reps. No one believed I was natural. I was close to 30, and you're going to tell me that this 16 or 17-year-old can bench press more than me after I set the world record? Really? Does that make sense? Let that sink in a little bit. 16, 17 years of age, bench pressing 500 pounds when I couldn't do that, and I was a world record holder. And 315 pounds for 20, that is ridiculous. Most people going for the NFL can't even bench press that much. It makes no sense. At 16, 17 years of age, you're too young to be even using GO2 Max and Turk Builder. I don't even want you to use my supplements. You're too young. Wait until you're older. You have plenty of newbie gains. You shouldn't be starting all these supplements at such an early age. But if you're an adult and you're trying to stay natural, please consider Turk Builder and GO2 Max. More energy, greater pumps, more muscle building. You will not believe the difference it can make. It's certainly far, far stronger than creatine will ever be. Creatine, a great supplement, but pales in comparison to these two, my number 1 and number 2 selling supplements. Interested in any of these, the cookbooks and so on, code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like this video if you liked it. Of course, watch one of those 2 bloops. Interested in the clothing line, harder than last time, the tank tops, hoodies, jogging pants, all that stuff, amazing quality. Head over to my website. Don't forget about all the books on my website, various cookbooks. We have training books, all kinds of stuff. And if you have no money, there's a free diet and training program. You can pick that up and join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.